All right, this is the independent practice for 2.5, and we're comparing, ordering, seeing how fractions, decimals, percents, how they all kind of go together. Okay, let's look at number 1. I'm going to make it nice and big. There we go. I want to be able to see it. We're either going to put a less than, greater than, or equal to sign. Now, it's hard to compare 1/3 and 3/5 unless they have the same denominator. Now, least common multiple of this would be 15. So if I make that 15 and that a 15, 3 times 5, 1 times 5 is 5, 3 times 5 is 15, or 5 times 3, so 3 times 3 is 9. So which one is greater, 5 or 9? If I have a pizza with 15 slices and I eat 9, I'm going to be eating a lot more. So 3/5 is bigger than 1/3. The other way to do it, just because I like to give you little things as we go along here, when you compare fractions, if they're both a fraction like this, and they don't have the common denominator, what you can do is you can go crossways. 3 times 3 is 9. 5 times 1 is 5. And then once you cross them like that, you look at which one is bigger, 5 or 9. Well, 9 is bigger. That's a little simple way to do it. Okay. Now this one, I could either get to a decimal and compare the decimals. I could cross and see which one is more. Or I could make this into a 12. 2 times 6, it'd be 6 12s. So I have 6 12s on this side and 7 12s on this side. Which one is more? This one. Okay. Or I could do the cross method and say, okay, 12 times 1 is 12. 2 times 7 is 14. And then I say, okay, which one is bigger, 14 or 12? Well, I think we know that 14 is a little bigger. So if I had $100, I'd rather have 7/12 of the $100 than 1/2 of the $100 because 7/12 is more. Let's go over to 3. Okay, here's where I don't have the same thing. So I'm going to convert this, this 0.4 to a decimal. So 1 divided by 4 equals 0.25. This is 0.25. This is 0.4. I'm going to put a 0 here because I can. This is 40 cents then. If I look at money, this is 25 cents. Which one is more? 40 cents is more than 25. So 1/4 is less than 0.4. Another one. Alrighty, daddy. I have 0.7 here and 7/9. I'm going to do 7 divided by 9 equals 0.7777. Okay, I'm going to round that up to 0.78. And then this is 0.7. I'm going to put a 0 on the end because I can. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change it at all. Now, I have 70 cents here and I have 78 cents here. Which one is more? 78 cents. So 0.7 is less than 7/9. Not by much, but it is. Okay, now we get some ordering. All right. 1/2, 2/3, 1/4, and 5/6. Let's get them a common denominator. So my biggest one is 6. 2 go into 6, yep. 3 go into 6. Does 4 go into 6? No. So now let's go to 12. Let's see if 12 will work. Does 2 go into 12? Yep. 3 go into 12? Yep. 4 go into 12, and 6 goes into 12. So 12 is what I want. I'm just going to change all of these to be something over 12. 2 times 6, so that'd be 6/12. 3 times 4, 2 times 4 is 8. 4 times 3, 1 times 3 is 3. 6 times 2 gets me 12, so 5 times 2 is 10. Now, least to greatest. So the smallest is 3. 3/12, which is this one. Okay, they all connect here like this. 3/12 is the smallest, so I'm going to go 1/4. Then 6 is a little bigger, 1/2. Then 8, which is 2/3. Oopsie. 2/3. And then I have 10/12, which is 5/6. Okay, that's how you put them in order from least to greatest. This one, just to change it up a little bit, I'm going to do decimals. Just to see how that goes. Okay. I could also do a denominator because 18 is the biggest one. 6 goes into that, 9 goes into that, and 3 goes into that. So it's really pretty easy by getting it to the 18. But if I would do 2 divided by 3 is going to get that 0.666. So I'm going to go 0.66. 2 divided by 9 equals 0.22. 5 divided by 6 equals 0.83. And 11 divided by 18 equals 0.61. So now I'm doing least to greatest. I look at the money. 22 cents is the smallest, so that's 2/9. There we go. A little bit more money would be the 61, so it's 11/18. Got that done. Now a little bit more is this 0.66, which is 2/3. And then the last one is 5/6. That's the biggest one. That's 0.83. Okay? I could have made the denominator all 18, changed them around, and looked at it that way too. Either way. Okay, 2 more to go. Number 7, Darius spends 35% of his time doing math homework. Darius spends 35% of his time doing math homework. Cool. That's he must like math. Alex spends 2/5 of his time doing math homework. Who spends more time? Let's find out. Let's compare. We want to compare 35% and 2/5. I'm going to make them both to decimals. Okay? So to get rid of this percent thing, I got to go away 2. 1, 2. So 0.35. And then 2/5. I'm going to go 2 divided by 5 equals 0.4. And I can put a 0 here. So it's kind of like 35% would be 35 cents. 2/5 is kind of like 40 cents. Who spends more time? Which is more? This 40 is. So, good job, Alex. Well, I don't know if it's a good job. Maybe he doesn't concentrate as much. I don't know. But Alex spends more time. So Alex, who spends 2/5 of his time, is more than 35%. Okay? It's actually 2/5 is 0.40. If I want to convert that to a percent, I go over 2 and I get 40%. So he spends 40%, Darius spends 35%, 40 is more. Alex, good job. Okay, last one. 3 snack bars contain 1/5 and 0.22 and 19% of their calories from fat. Which snack bar contains the least amount of calories from fat? We want the least amount of calories. That it would be a good thing. So we have a fraction, we have a decimal, and we have a percent. Let's make these all decimals. We want to compare the same thing. So 1/5, 1 divided by 5 equals 0.2. So this one here, I'm do this in blue, 0.2. Now 0.22 is already, and I could put a 0 here if I want. 0.22 is 0. 0.22 is already a decimal. Okay, so now I just have 19%, and I'm going to get rid of that. So I go 1, 2, and then get rid of this thing, and I have 0.19. So 19% is the same as 0.19. Okay. Now, if I think about them in terms of money, I have 19 cents, 20 cents, and 22 cents. I want which snack bar contains the least amount. All right, this one right here, the one that has 19%. 19% is the least. These other ones, 0.22 and 0.20, they don't contain that much more, but they still do have more. So the least is 19%. All right, that is 2.5. So I want you to go on to do extra practice on page 135. Do numbers 16 through 26. 16 through 26, it's the whole page. Well, actually, 16 is done for you. But do the whole page and turn it in, and then you can go on to 2.6. Okay?